This is KUGAN CASSIUS for Eiffel TV in association with Macklin Gym Marbella in Bolton here today for the homecoming of the new unified heavyweight champion of the world. With me I've got the father of that unified heavyweight champion of the world, Mr. John Fury. John, it's been a long week, a long journey, a long life, and it must have been fitting what happened Saturday night for you as a family.
Listen, it was the B and the end of it all. The Alpha and the Omega. Don't get no bigger than that. Whatever's happened in my life, KUGAN, and most of it's been bad, let's be honest about it. The only good things come out of my life is family. The rest of it ain't worth talking about. We've had to do what we've had to do, but that's to one side. But if ever somebody could have a second chance at life to enjoy at the late age of 50 years old what I'm enjoying at the moment, you know, I just wish more people could have this feeling and didn't have to have a son like mine to get this feeling, if you can understand what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
I feel, how can I put it, that I feel guilty about enjoying this moment like I'm enjoying it, and other people probably never get to enjoy like I'm enjoying in a lifetime. So if I can just express to them people that, you know, I'm so privileged, I'm so honoured, I'm touched by God to feel like this, because I know a lot of people out there will never experience it. They might come close, they might get a similar feeling out of a lot less. But for me, I've not slept since Friday, I'm not even tired. I drove 15 hours back from Dusseldorf to Manchester, delayed at the boat, but you know what, all I could think of was, I'm from the UK, and it's playing over and over in my mind like a record player. And that moment will be pressed between the pages of my mind forever, and it don't get no better. If Tyson, if he makes 55 defences of the heavyweight championship of the world, he exceeds Vladimir Klitschko and all the greats into one, it'll never equal the moment in Dusseldorf when he defeated a super champion in his own backyard, in the face of adversity, against all the odds. It was a mammoth task, and he did it, and it happened to be my son, and I'm so proud of him. Words can't express.
John, when I got to Dusseldorf, I said in the interview the other day that I came to your hotel, everyone else had gone to bed, you were the only one there. And I remember you talking to me, and we spoke about some private stuff that I'm obviously not gonna bring up, but you said to me, KUGAN, do you realise that this is going to happen on Saturday? I don't think it, you said, I know it.
Yes.
Do you realise that? And you sort of took my arm and you just went, it's happening Saturday. My son will win Saturday. It's not no ifs and buts, it will happen. And then I kind of went away from that thinking to myself, this isn't a father that just believes in his son. This isn't a father that just hopes his son's going to win. There was something about the way you spoke to me that just suggested that you did know on Saturday what was going to happen.
I did, KUGAN, and you know what? I'll come clean, you know, because I'm a real person. You've gathered that already. Maybe I speak too much, I talk too loud. People will say, sit down, mate. We're sick of hearing you speak. But hear this, I knew from word one my son was going to win. But on Friday, no, it wasn't Friday, it was fight day. It was fight day. I'm sat in my room by myself, and I was thinking about tactics and whatnot. And I've looked up in the sky, and it was a dull day, and I seen a light shining through the window. And I've looked through a 3-inch crack in a blind, and where the sun was shining, I seen a lone crucifix amongst a load of buildings. There was shops, high-rise flats, guest houses, and I seen a lone cross, and it come out and looked at me, this lone cross. And it caught my eye for about 5 seconds. I've looked again, it's gone. And I looked and looked and looked, and I couldn't see this again. And you know what? I had a calm come over me like I've never felt. And something inside me said, don't worry, I'm here. And I went to Tyson, I went straight to his room within minutes. His wife opened the door. I said, where is he? She's laying on the bed. I walked in, I said, Tyson, you're going to be the new heavyweight champion of the world, without a shadow of a doubt. I said, how do you feel? He said, you know what, Dad? No nerves, no nothing. I just want to fight. He said, what I'm going to do now is make a video. He said, because I feel happy. I want to dance. I want to scream. I want to shout. And after that moment, I think if we was facing Titans that night, my belief wouldn't have been moved because I was calm. I thought, let them do all the skullduggery, let them pull all the tricks out the woodwork. God's dealing with them. But when you've got God on your side, no one can defeat you. And people may say, you're talking rubbish, mate. Your head's gone. You're stupid. But hear this. I am no stupid man. Never have been in my life. I've been through a lot more than other people. But on that day, I was touched and I was blessed, and so was my son. And I'll stick and declare, when I looked at him as a baby, I seen something special then. And I made this, what's the right word for it? I told them that this man was going to be special 27 years ago. And look, not a thing I said has been proved wrong. So pick the bones out of it, you can't. Right's right, wrong's wrong. They played the game, they played the corrupt game, it was on everything, it was there with it, side by side. Because like I said to him in my last interview, he's got 2 Churchills in his corner, you know, and no disrespects to Vladimir Klitschko's team. Those people haven't got the intellect to play with us. They're out the depth. Like they thought Tyson Fury was out with his depth boxing their man, they was out their depth messing with us, and they knew it. Because their battle, they had 2. Vlad, Tyson. But there was more worried about Team Klitschko against Team Fury because they know they couldn't win.
There were a lot of things that happened during the week, from the gloves to the ring to, you know, and despite everything and despite all these little things that happened, it's not for me to say whose fault anything was. I'm just saying these things did happen. But it didn't matter in the end, come Saturday, because what happened happened.
When you expect all this and more, when you go into a boxing competition like this, of this multitude and magnitude, whatever you want to call it, you can expect there's not just going to be a fight in the ring. You've got to deal with one outside of it first. So we sat down and we talked about it. I said, listen, there's going to be many mountains. We've got to climb them. We're focused on the boxing now. We know what we've got to do. We've got that part right. Let's make sure we've done our job in other areas, you know. And my brother Peter, I'll be honest with you, he should have been a lawyer, a barrister. Nobody would have ever got jail if he'd have been a barrister, I'll tell you that now. If I'd have had him as my counsel, I wouldn't have been doing 11 years. I say that now, you know. And we talked about it and he said, right, let's turn over and look at everything. And we did. We walked to the stadium that morning because I'll tell you what happened. They first hinted to us at the weigh-in, the weight. We knowed our man's weight, 2 ounces and then 9 pounds. And when he weighed 8 pounds lighter than he should have done, Ackles went up. We thought, we've done our job wrong. Ours lost 8 pounds in 2 days. But all of a sudden, stay calm, skullduggery. It caused us to look at other avenues. And that's what we've done. We got up early in the morning, surprised them. They didn't want to let us into the venue. They tried to block us. We got in. Was you there? You were there or not?
Not in the morning, I wasn't.
So we was there. Me and Peter spotted the ring, like looking at that football field now. That's not right. There was no ladders around the ring. I've clambered up inside the ring. I'm walking around this ring. It was like walking on thick snow. You know, Peter's uncovered the mattress. He said, look here, this is a joke. So I said in broken German, Nick's gut. Because I thought they wouldn't understand English, so I was upset. I kept saying, Nick's gut. Get boss, get chef. You know, chef means boss, I think. Anyway, no chef or boss come. So I said to Peter, and he said to me, I'll come back at 2 o'clock. And I thought, well, I best keep away from that because I don't want to get involved in it. Peter knows what he's got to do. He won't take a backward step and he's going to do the right thing. He got there and he hadn't done a thing. They hadn't changed it. So Peter blew a fit. He said straight, like we all agreed, no fair play, no fight. We never went for a paycheck. We never went for the money. We've already got money. We've got nothing, but it's a lot to us because we've earned it. But at the end of the day, we got there. It was hours before they come, the delay tactics, there had to be a big argument. Peter looked like having fisticuffs with the ex-world champion. But in the end, he showed his manly streak and said, right, we fight, take it out. Fair credit to Vladimir Vitaly Klitschko. He said, I'm a fighting man, he said, we'll move the canvas. So anyway, all that's to one side. The gloves was an issue again. Not what we wanted, but we put up with it in the end. Even the ring on fight night, wasn't happy with it. Swore to burnt Tyson's toes off, we put up with it. The wrapping of the hands afterwards, you know, how bad does it get? You know what I'm saying? How can you move a goalpost to that magnitude and get away with it? They might have done with anybody else, because they might have been thinking about the money. We wasn't. Unless Tyson got fair play, we were prepared to get on the plane, you know, and the oldness would have been on them. They've let 55,000 fans down, not us. All we wanted was a fair fight. If the best man won, we wasn't going to make an excuse. We'd have shook Vlad's hand. And believe me, I wanted to put him down in the after-fight press conference like he'd never been put down. But you know what? After the fight, I only had admiration for the way he fought. He fought admirably, you know, and he fought like a champion. He tried to defend his belts with all his heart, that fella, for his country. He tried to hang on for his country. And believe me, that shone out of him. And it took all of that out of me. And I couldn't find it in my heart to say one bad word about him because I thought, you're a man. You fought your heart out. And any man who can do that, forget all the crap talk. Forget about everything. He performed. The better man won.
And he was a good loser as well, John.
He was a good loser. I admired the man, and I still do. You know, Vladimir Klitschko, we believe we have beaten the best heavyweight in the last 50 years. You know, he's proved it. A reigning, defending champion. 23 defences. And he's not called Dr. Steelhammer for nothing. And people may put him down after this and say, no, he never turned up, he didn't do this. Vlad was the best Vlad he's ever been, because he knew he had to be. And I'll tell you what, I could see that from his last 10 fights. He'd upped his game tenfold, but it wasn't enough for a young bull with brains. And he had brains in his corner.
John, what was the situation with you and some of the comments we heard about Lennox Lewis? What was that?
To be honest with you, again, I admired Lennox Lewis. I was a big fan. Another great champion from the UK. I still admire his boxing achievements. The man done a lot more than me. In boxing terms, I probably wasn't good enough to lace his shoes up. But why did he hate us and not being on board when I thought so much of him and he disrespected my son in that way? And you know what? I'm a realist. If people upset me, I won't speak to them because it suits the timing, because the timing's right. It's better for them and me. You know, I was disappointed in him, and I think he knew that in the ring on Saturday night, because I paid him no mind at all. And before this, I'd have paid £1,000 to shake his hand. But once he's condemned my son to what he did, that lang around in my mind forever, you know. And like I said, I'm no shrinking violet. I'm 50-year-old, but I'm in good shape. I spent 5 years in a place where you can only be in good shape. And I would say, if me and him had a fight now, I'd win. You know why? Because I'm mentally stronger. I ain't got the problems I had 25 years ago. I never had 2 days' notice. I never had the week. I wasn't doing 3 jobs a day. But now, I think myself, old men should never speak about young men, because it's shit talk. A young man will beat an old man. A young good man will beat an old good one. And at the end of the day, he's an old good one. I know I can fight. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to get it on, my old trainer's here. He said, I'll get you back in the gym. We'll have a 10-week more battle royale in the ring. And if he's game, I'm game. And I'll shake his hand afterwards. That's all I've got to say. But Lennox, you disappointed me, man, and I thought a lot of you. You know, and you said things about my son. You wrote him off, mate, and you hate me because I admired you. But put that to one side, Lennox. You done well, mate, and I'm proud of what you done for your country. God bless you for that. But you know what? Don't speak because it suits the moment, because it always has repercussions, mate. Men meet before mountains, and if you've been talking about a man, how can you look him in the eye and shake his hand? That's not being real, my friend. I'm a real man, I'd never do that. But listen, God bless you, Lennox. If me and you want to earn a few quid, and believe me, what my son's earned ain't mine, by the way. I could do with my own money. And if I can make a few quid with you, my friend, and you can make a few pound out of me, why not? Because if both of us died tomorrow at 50, the good days are behind us. Anyway, God bless you, enough said.
John, I know you spoke about this quite a bit towards the end of the press conference, but it's something that's kind of aggravated a lot of people today. Some of the paper talk, one of the greatest sporting achievements, not just in boxing, but in sporting terms, happened over the weekend. And there were quite a few tabloids that picked up on negative stories.
We've got Murray, the tennis player. You know, he's done a big thing for his country again. You know, Andy, you know, I know for a fact he was watching my son on the TV in his dressing room before his game. You know, and I admire men like Andy Murray, because I'll tell you why. He's been through the same thing. You know, he's had to work hard and train in. He knows what it's like to practice to be the best. And that's why I think he can relate to what I'm saying. Because you don't end up the best tennis player in the world to thinking about it and being a part-timer. You've got to eat, drink, sleep and breathe it. And Andy Murray's done that. He's done his country proud. And I'm a very, very big fan. I've not missed one game. I love tennis. And believe you me, if he honoured us by watching my son win the heavyweight champion of the world, I want to say one thing. Thank you, Andy. You're a great man.
And to what I was saying about, obviously, there was some negative stories written about Tyson in the papers this morning, and to pick that up.
I can only forgive those people because sometimes people can pass comment on something they don't really understand. It's like me trying to talk about football to Alex Ferguson. I'm going to look a fool, so I won't bother. You know, but they're only saying the piece, and sometimes they let their heart rule the brain. But people, all I say, look at the achievement. Don't look at the man. Don't look at Tyson Fury. Don't look at these the breed of the man, the gypsy in him, the itinerant. We're not itinerant people, we're intelligent people. We've done what's right. You know, we pay our way like everybody else. But just look at what he's done. Forget about Tyson. If you don't like Tyson, you don't like what he does, but like what he's achieved. Like what he did in the ring, because it's phenomenal. It will never be repeated for another 100 years. You know, but I forgive you for the bad comments. I forgive everybody, because it's like Jesus said in his deathbed. Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. And I don't think they know what they're doing, because the world would not be in the mess it's in today. You know, let's go into it a little bit deeper. I'm sat here with you. You're a Sikh, yeah?
No, I'm not Sikh.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
What are you? Indian?
My parents from Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. Me and you, we know each other, we're like family. We get on, we respect each other. Why can't the rest of the world be like this? You know, don't let colour or religion divide men. We're sort of here. Part of our team's Muslim. You know, we had most respect for them. You know, they've helped us in every way. And without them, this wouldn't be possible. Without all these interviews, KUGAN CASSIUS does an excellent job. He's from Sri Lanka. You know, he's not the same skin colour as me, but if you cut him, he'll bleed red. And you know what? He's become part of the family. And all I want to say is, let's change the world by being brothers, proper brothers. It says in the Quran, it says in the Bible, there is no fighting, it's just love. There's no upset, there's no anger, it's just love. And I believe the world can do that. Put the differences to one side, put the politics to one side, because they mean nothing. Politics, religion, who's got the power, who ain't got the power, it don't mean nothing. But when you face God, it means something, because you all will be judged. You'll be judged. And he will say to you, you took the law into your own hands. You believed in false idols. You did this, you did that. Try and be right, people. Let's stop the fighting in the world today. Because the only people that suffer here is innocent people, working class people. And without those working class people, who's being very unfortunate, this world can't go round. You know, so let's reshuffle our cards. Let's be brothers and live in peace, the worldwide. That's all I want to say to you. Because look, it was the heavyweight championship of the world. It was a sellout, but I've seen a lot of empty seats. Frightened people. They got no need to be frightened in 2016 nearly, through politics and man's ego to be drunk on power. Forget it, boys. It's the wrong thing. Pray to God every day and ask for forgiveness, and God will change your life. Like God said to my son, and he said to me in a vision of a lone cross, don't worry. God's changed my life, and I've had more than one experience, and I don't speak foolish. Ask God into your life, beg for forgiveness, all those bad thoughts, and be real, and get on properly with your fellow man, no matter what colour he is or where he's from.
All right, John.
Good talking to you,
You
Kugan.
too. I'm just, see me, I'm just an old gorger boy, me.
Listen, matey, you'll do for me, my friend. Listen, Gorger man, Tinker man, Welsh man, Chinese man, black man, Aborigine man. We're all human beings. We're all sons of God. And you know, one man is not better than another man. You know what? And we'll all live, because God said in His Word, the birds live. He said they get fed. The fish in the sea live. They get fed. So why should we worry about putting bread on tables and upsetting our fellow brother for money, what belongs to the devil? Let the devil keep what's his, and let's reshuffle our cards and make amend, and let people live in peace instead of being in fear. You know, because working class people, the backbone of our society, don't deserve to live in fear through mixed up people. Let's get it together, boys. We will forgive you and God will forgive you. And there's no time like the present. Start now. Kugan, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. John Fury talking to IFL TV, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you very soon.
Thank you, Kugan, and I just want to say thank you for what you've done in the coming up weeks and the months. You know, I liked you from the minute I seen you. You're good at your job and you need commending, my friend. Without you, none of this would be possible. Let me shake your hand.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you very much, John Fury. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, mate.